What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. This time I'm going to bring you my long-term review of, this is the 2018 iPad Pro, which is, I believe, the second generation one, 11-inch. And I bought this refurbished. I'm kind of go through on what it's like having a refurbished Apple product for a year, and if it's worth saving a little bit of money and buying something Apple refurbished versus buying it new. You have to really pay attention to the prices now compared to previously, because a lot of these iPads go on sale. Even the new iPad Air is already on sale. They go on sale pretty often, so you really have to pay attention. The Pros, I don't think, tend to go on sale as much as the previous standard iPad Air, iPad Mini, things along that line. So this was $519. I've had it for around a year now, and you really can't distinguish this from purchasing a brand new one. It comes in a standard Apple box with all the accessories. The only thing you may notice is that there's a very teeny tiny that says Apple Refurbished on the bottom here. Besides that, everything is essentially new. The battery count on this was 100% health. It's arrived in perfect condition, comes with a 1-year Apple warranty, so really it's not that much different than new. And I wanted the 120 hertz refresh rate screen, so that's why I went with the Pro model. Probably don't need it, it's probably overkill. This is mainly for watching Bluey right now, which is just released season 3, and that's tends to be what our toddler likes. So I use it often for if I'm walking or running. We don't have a TV downstairs where our treadmill's at, so I do use it for that. So that's generally what it's used for. I use it in the kitchen a lot to watch TV, in the morning to watch the news, just to check emails, messaging, things like that. I do not have, actually I have used my keyboard and mouse with it before. You can pair these up with it. Also, this thing you can pair up to 3 things with it, and it works pretty well. It's definitely not a laptop replacement, but when it comes to build quality, battery life, how's it held up over the year, it still looks new to me. I do not have a screen protector on this, and our toddler, I have a few cases for, like a really rugged one, and then one that's a little bit more less rugged, and it still looks new to me. I don't really notice. The screen gets very greasy and grimy and dirty fairly easily compared to my previous, I forget what Lenovo or tablet I had before, but it seems to get a little greasy, maybe because it's a little more glossy than that one is. But it is held up extremely well. Battery's still at 100%. This thing will last a whole day without any issue when it comes to battery life. Performance is still really good. I think this has the, I don't honestly have no idea. A12X, is it on here? I don't really care. No idea. I think it's the A12X, maybe something along that lines. Honestly, with a tablet, I don't really think you need the most advanced processor. I have done some photo editing on this in Lightroom, and it does perfectly fine. With I have the Sony a7 IV, which is a 30 megapixel camera, and it's done really, really good with that. It's a very snappy, very responsive tablet. Let's see if we can open Lightroom here. So I haven't had any issues with performance, and I do kind of like that you have that option. We mainly have a ton of baby photos on this thing, but it loads up pretty well. It's very, very smooth, quick to. Granted, I'm in the basement, so they're probably loading a little slow, but it is a very smooth, interactive, easy to use tablet. So performance-wise, I haven't had any issues with over the year. It never gets hot, not even close. We've used it in the car on long trips, playing videos when it's hot out, and it's never had any issues. I use it outside from time to time, and it seems to be built to withstand a little bit of abuse. Not a lot. Wouldn't want to drop it or anything, just because of the, while it is well built, it's a big screen with not very many bezels. I feel like it would shatter pretty easily. So I haven't had any issues with that, with it getting hot at all. It really doesn't run warm at all. And typically I charge it once a week. So we use it off and on, our toddler does, and then I use it usually in the mornings, sometimes in the evenings if I want to watch, a quick little bit of this movie here or there. It seems like it takes us about 16 tries to watch a movie now with a toddler and an infant, which was just born. So I'm really happy about that. 120 hertz refresh rate screen. This is a gorgeous display. Like, it is top notch. It is probably as good as my $800 monitor screen and my 16-inch MacBook Pro, which has the nano IPS, some type of IPS where it's 120 hertz refresh rate. It is probably on par with that as being. It's just a really good screen, really crisp, really color accurate. You could do pro grade work on this if you really wanted. It would be good if you were a pro photographer and you were showing your clients photos on this, just because they look so good. I mean, they really. It's hard to explain. Let's see if I can get a good photo up here. But I mean, they just look really good overall. It's just the sharpness, the contrast. I'm trying to find a lot of these are photos people probably don't need to see, but it just is a really good, vibrant, color accurate. This is grumpy pants, but it's a really good screen. Probably the best screen out there on a tablet. Even if you're comparing it to some of the newer iPads, like the 12-inch. Is there a 12-inch, 12, 13-inch, whatever the bigger one is of this? 12.9, I think. There we go. I don't really care about the specs all that much. This is only the 32 gigabyte model. That was why it was probably the $519 price point. I haven't filled up the storage yet, and we have a decent amount of stuff downloaded. Let's see what our iPhone storage is, iPad storage. Oh, it's the 64 gigabyte version. Never mind. We currently have 29.9 gigabytes on here, so personally I don't think you need more than that. It seems like most of my stuff is Disney Plus, and that's it. I originally downloaded my iTunes Music through here, or my Apple Music, but it just took up too much storage, and I never listen to music on this thing, so I didn't really care about that. But if you look at this, it seems like Disney Plus is currently what's eating up most of our 19.7 gigabytes of storage, so we have a bunch of stuff downloaded for if we take trips. My wife's parents live 2 hours north, so when we go up there, it's just easy to have this in the car. If our toddler, it's a long time to be in the car with no entertainment or anything along that lines. Multitasking is really good on this. It's a lot better than my Lenovo tablet, so that's something I really like. You'll have good multitasking on any of the tablets out there. Performance is really good with multitasking. USB-C charging, love that, so I can charge it with just about anything. Last time I charged this, I don't even know if it'll focus on that. Last time I charged this, I actually used my wife's, she's a 2017 iPad Pro, which has a USB-C charging, and I used it. It does have Face ID, so you do have unlock through Face ID. There is no Touch ID anywhere on this. I kind of wish for the price point they would put one under the screen or somewhere in the power button. I think for this price you should have multiple options for unlocking. So I think the iPad Air has it, like a fingerprint reader here in the power button. For the price point, they should add that on here. I think they would be able to do that. But it's that Face ID, which works really well. It's quick. Same thing as your phone. I don't have any issues with that. And there's no bezel up here at the top. At least you can't really tell. Doesn't have a notch like the iPhone does, which you can't really even see here because of my picture, but it doesn't have a notch on it. Let's see, anything else? That's really it. This is mainly entertainment, convenience thing. It is a way overkill for our needs, way overkill for most people's needs. You probably don't need this, but I wanted the 120 hertz refresh rate screen, and this is something I'm going to keep for probably at least 5 years, so I wanted to get what I wanted. And it's lovely to edit and look at photos on here. Just as a casual user, I'm not a pro, I'm not a wedding photographer or any type of pro photographer or pro videographer. I've never tried to edit videos on this. That would probably not be fun. I don't even like editing videos on my laptop. I usually try to use my my larger monitor, put it in desktop mode and mount it there and do it that way. But it's been really nice. Really happy with it. I would if you can save $100, $200, $300 by buying a refurbished product directly from Apple, I would 1000% do it. I think the Apple outlet is very underrated that most people don't even realize is there. I had a friend who was looking for like an iPad Air, and they were just so much cheaper in the outlet to get the previous generation one since the new one was released. I mean, it just makes sense. I think if you're trying to save some money and you don't care about the newest and greatest, this is a 2018 model. It will probably perform just as good as I need it to for the next, this is 2022. I've had it for a year, bought it in 2021 or the beginning of 2022. So it's almost a year old coming into this year, which is almost here. But I've been really happy with it. I would maybe steer clear if you're getting into like, I don't know. Actually, I don't even think they have any of the older stuff on there. So let's just scratch that. Anything you need from that outlet, Jesus Christ, that you can save some money on, I would do. It is a little hard to hold without a case on. Maybe that's a negative. As you can see, I just dropped it twice. So that's probably one of the negatives. There's tons of case options out there. I really, really like that with Apple products, is that there's just way more case options than that. It is very light and thin, but it's kind of awkward to hold in the hand. Like if you're in bed and watching something and holding it like this, after 10-15 minutes, it starts to get a little bit, it's just a larger tablet. It's 11 inches. So if you don't want that, get the mini or get the Air. Is the Air smaller? Is the Air 10 inches? I don't know. Check Apple's website. That's what I would do. Speakers are really good. I forgot about that. It has 4 speakers in it, which are really good. You have holes on the top and bottom, but this does have 4 speakers in it. My wife has an old iPad. I think it's just a regular iPad, and compared to that, the audio is awful. This is really, really good. Similar to some of the, I would say, the Mac Pro speakers on the 14 inches, 16 inches. Just really, really good audio. It's really loud, crisp, clear. That's really it. I've never used the camera on the back. I don't think you should buy an iPad for the camera quality. This thing, there's no reason to take a photo with this. I don't think, especially if you have an iPhone, or we take my camera around a lot just because of how light and compact it is. So I've never used the camera. No idea what the camera quality is. Let's see. Doesn't look good. Guys, the camera quality doesn't look good. That's okay. It's probably iPhone 11 quality, maybe. I don't know. But that's it, guys. If you have any comments, questions, leave them below. I plan on keeping this for a long time, so maybe in 4 years from now, I'll get a 5-year review up. So that's it. Have a good rest of the day, weekend, whatever's out there, and I'll see you guys next time.